So sometimes you gotta pop out and show. We gonna get to it, man. It's your boy G Bush. We in here in the barbershop, man. And we got some talking to do. We got some talking to do because sometimes you got to remind people of what you stand on and what you've been doing and how you move. And sometimes you can come in and you can educate people, and sometimes you can do certain things, but sometimes you really got to show cats that, I don't know who y'all think y'all can get that off with, but it don't work right here with your boy. We got to get to it. We've been seeing some stuff on the internet, and this ain't even the barbershop today. We gonna get to it right over here on the barbershop. I got to get the streets the receipts. You know how it is, man. I bring the receipts when people bring something to the table. I come from a battle culture. I come from a culture where there's certain things we can play with, but there's certain things we can't play with. And word around campus is G Bush is only real on the barbershop. Could that be true? Let's talk about it coming up next. We got an opportunity to get right off into it, and we're going to do it now. You can opine on it. Let's get it. So we're not going to hold you right. We right on the barbershop. Now, as I look around the internet, we keep talking about things. And sometimes I do these podcasts maybe 2 to 3 times a year, right? I'm in a barbershop. We like to have conversations about sports, music, and culture. By the way, when I got into the game, I'm going to give everybody a brief history lesson before we get to these receipts. When I started from the ground level to zero, right? And people say, you only keep it real in the barbershop. Actually, I had the barbershop first before I had anything else. The reason I had to get the barbershop is because I was not given an opportunity in the industry. The reason I had the barbershop is because I realized that no one's going to give you anything. And if you want to be real about some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about, there was no way you could talk about that on a certain platforms. So you know what I did? I kept it real and came to this one. You see, when I started in this game in 2010, when I started in this game, there was no full-time Black host on radio anywhere, in nowhere, shape, or form. Nowhere. So when I came in, when you say being a pioneer, this was being exactly what it's called, being a pioneer. And it was being on in a place where no one was giving you an opportunity, and nobody talked like you, and nobody sounded like you, and nobody gave you or you couldn't listen to hip hop music. We had all rock beds. We had literal assignments that said, if you are doing a show in this city, program director said, we don't play hip hop music. Said, we got to play alternative rock music. Yeah, we Pearl Jam and all kind of stuff. I'm gonna just give you a quick upside to where we at. So when you go through the industry and you get to a point where you have a choice to make, you can either tell the truth and stand on business, or you can fake in front and hopefully somebody gives you something so you get somewhere. I made a decision quite early on that I like to sleep well at night and I don't like to fake in front for nobody. And that goes for what people think that are detractors, or people who think they're not detractors. So people say, G Bush, why would you even care about, what do you care about? Why are you getting to this? Well, I get to it because I'm sincere about what I stand on and how I move. And sometimes you got to show people, maybe you just pulled up lately. Maybe you just came to the barbershop a couple of days ago and you heard me talking about Fedora Sanders, or you heard me talking about certain things. And so maybe you're not privy to the past or what I've done in previous past, right? Past works. So you say, where is this stemming from? Let's talk about it. Let's get to Twitter. Let's get to Twitter. Let me put this up here. Let me make sure we do that. Can we put this up here? All right, here we go. So Big Z, the Ohio underscore guys. He says, G. Bush, watching you on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, you do a total 180 from your barbershop show. Sounds like you scared to speak your mind on UCSS, but so freely on the barbershop. You got to keep it 100 no matter what platform. That's what being real is all about, my brother. Well, let me tell you what being real is all about. Being real ain't about being real today or being real yesterday. It's about being authentic and crisp throughout. So let me just educate you and get to a point so we can show the receipts. He says he wants me to keep it real, right? He wants me to keep it real on all platforms. So let me pull up some of the realest things I've said on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I won't even go to the barbershop stuff. Let's just go. Let me make sure I got this correct. Let's get this right. So this is me, I believe, talking about what are we going to get here? We'll figure it out here. We'll figure it out what this is. Let me take this down real quick. Want to be real on all stages. Let's talk about it.
Man, I was on the car this morning. I was dropping my wife off to work. And as I sit and listen to one of the local radio shows that I listen to, they happened to have a school administrator on. And he talked about the reasoning behind the runaway no vote for NIL in Ohio. Now, there's a lot of things that you can tell me as an administrator. There's a lot of things that you can tell me about why it doesn't work and why you're trying to protect people and how that's what you need to do. But I'm here to tell everybody, I need to remind people that we are guests in the arena of athletics. For far too long, people like me, I used to be a former athlete, I get paid to tell an opinion about people playing the sport. Administrators in schools, athletic directors, you make a living, you feed your family from what people do on a field. For far too long, we've talked about, well, it's the children. I'm in it to teach young men and then have them. No, listen. For far too long, you've been in it to hold young men back. At the end of the day, your job is to do what you came to do, and that's to further the lives and better the lives of student athletes. We all get paid off the game. We need to stop pretending that I'm in this game because I want to see kids do well. If the high school coach is making $80,000, the athletic director is making $100, then you go up and everybody else is making millions of dollars. At the end of the day, your job as a guest in this game is to further the lives of student athletes. And if that means putting money in their pockets so that they can eat during a pandemic when guess what? School isn't in, that's what you should allow. Your job is not to sit back and think about all the ways things can go right. Your job is to come up with rules to make it right, not wrong. And at the end of the day, remember what you're here for, and we'll remember what you're here as. You are a guest. You don't play. You don't score any baskets. We all earn a living off the backs of athletes, and we need to respect that as guests.
I think it's silence in the room. You know why it's silent? Because I'm the only one talking spicy like that. Ain't nobody. I just called out high school administrators and athletic directors and told them during a pandemic, when people couldn't eat, when people wasn't getting no meals at school, I came with the receipts and said, that's not your job. I could have swore this happened to be on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I don't see that a barbershop logo. And this is how I give it up preferably. Sometimes you got to pop out and show people. You might have forgotten because nobody else is doing that. Nobody. When you say you gonna lose, how you lose credibility when I'm the only one doing it? How am I lose credibility when I'm the only one speaking that way? When I'm the only one speaking true to power, and I'm the only person that look like me doing it, speaking for the disenfranchised, speaking for athletes. Don't get it twisted. Continue to give them receipts. G. Bush, maybe people have forgotten. You sound scared. Okay. I sound scared. Okay, let me just can we keep it going? Not only do I talk to the specifics of the plight of the disenfranchised in the Black community, I also bring highlights to the Black community and topics nobody will touch, topics they don't care about. Let's see me talk about a RICO case in hip hop, because this show in the barbershop is about sports, music, and culture. And the culture is threaded through the music. Let's talk about it, because people may not be privy to what I do on each and every platform. Continue going.
All right, what do you got?
You know, I'm a product of hip hop. Hip hop is the culture. Hip hop is what influences my takes. It influences what I wear. It influences how you even think about life and how you move in certain situations.
I'm sitting here talking to people that look and listen the same way, right? But understand something y'all got to get. The Prophet Muhammad said this: the ink of a scholar is worth more than the blood of a martyr. So when I come on to these platforms, my goal is to entertain, educate, and to evaluate what everything is going on, and to turn that around and to speak to a specific group of people. Not to randomly crash out every single time somebody says something I don't agree with. That's not the time and the place for it. But understand that when it comes to speaking truth to power, I might not have the biggest platform. I don't mean to be the biggest person in the world, but nobody in this industry, in this city, has ever done nothing like this. And sometimes you got to be specific about it. I'm the humblest guy in the world. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to put a pause on things and say, listen, my brother, maybe you're misinformed. Here's the resume. I bring the receipts on everything.
Situations. I've always argued, people say, oh my goodness, rappers today, they do a lot in the streets, and is this art imitating life or life imitating art? Well, I always argue, nobody says Denzel Washington is a thug, right? He never comes out in Training Day. They say, Denzel Washington, Alonzo, you are a bad man. And King Kong does have something on you, by the way. But we will say this. When you look at hip hop today, I'm a big fan of some of the younger guys. 3 of my favorite artists, some of the youngest dudes doing it in the industry, Young Thug, Gunna, Casanova, all indicted on racketeering RICO charges. Now, if you want to know about RICO charges, just go back and look at the Italian mobs and some of the RICO charges placed on crime syndicates. That's football numbers. And if you don't know what that means, football numbers means 60, 70, 80 years. To all my people out there, if you are rapping and you are an entertainer, just be an entertainer. You know, just stay on that side of it. At the end of the day, you're giving an opportunity to lots of black young men to earn money. You could put people on, you pay taxes, you could do things to help the community, but don't let the lines of the street and the industry cross over. Because at the end of the day, those two are oil and water. They do not mix. And you don't want to end up in a situation where you look back and say, man, I had it good. Now I'm sitting here hanging out with all the real convicts. So just, you can talk about what it is. We appreciate you telling us about the struggle of the streets and what's going on in our communities. Just keep it at that and just keep it on wax.
Yeah, wise counsel.
You think they care about, you think that is in the purview of any one of those, my panel? I could have talked about anything. I could have talked about anything at that point. But you know what I did? I kept it 100 because I'm sitting there talking to specific people. What I might say might jump over 5 or 6 or 7 people, but in that space, in that place, it's important to talk to specifics Because if I can save 1 or 2, 3 or 4, and they say, dang, I saw a dude on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show that dressed like me in a jersey, that looked like me, that listened to the same rappers as me, and he just told me, yo, don't get into that. I just got to weave the narrative. Let's weave it. Because the narrative is, I only talk like that here. You must be just coming around to what it is. There you go. We still got time to go. I mean, because I've been doing this since I was born. I've been talking like this, right? Let's get to another one. What else we got here? G. Bush, you let that man talk shit about players who have 0 charges and didn't rebut any of it and agreed that it was a culture problem. Damn, shaking my head. Well, listen, Mark, maybe you don't, you're not well, maybe you don't know how I get down. So not only have I done that at every turn, I've done it on UCSS. I've done it on national TV. I've done it for thousands of people. And let me just tell you, did you want me to say something along the lines like this? Because this is what a white dude said to me when I had the same thing that I said a couple of years ago on UCSS with way more allegations. Let's talk about it.
110% right here.
There we go. Let's go. Let's rewind that.
G. Bush is 110% right here.
Other person with so much more just clout, so much more importance, money, power. We don't even look at it. We sitting here talking about this again after, let's be clear, 2 grand juries. You said go to an arbiter. The arbiter gave them 6 games, and people still don't think it's good enough. My problem is I'm not about to sit here and argue for 2 more games when people won't raise their voice for rich people and a person. It's vets around here that can't even get aid. And people talk about, I don't know what to tell my daughter about Deshaun Watson. You sure you do. Well, you tell her, no. You tell your daughter there's some crazy stuff out here. Stay away from people like that. There are wars out here. Guess what? You don't ever want to be part of them. It's a lot of crazy stuff out here. My athlete's job is not about raising your children. Stop putting it on that platter and be a man and grow and man up and say, look, I got to talk and teach my children. Deshaun Watson ain't my daughter's son, husband, daughter, whatever the case may be. I'm the parent and guardian of my child. My child does what I do. He's a reflection of me, not some dude throwing a football. And when we can get that together and stop putting that on athletes and put it on the people that's in charge of laws, charge of the church, charge of the clergy, and they sitting here ripping, running, and getting checks every day, and we say nothing, I'm not about to continue to do it. Give the man his 6 games and keep it pushing.
I agree with all.
So you wanted me to say that? That's what you wanted me to say? Because it looks like I've been saying that. Is that what you wanted? That's what you wanted from me? I'm gonna just keep giving it to you because guess what? It's on here. I bring the receipts. So when you say, let's bring this back up, and I got time, we got time, all first verse. We got time, because I still got receipts to get to. When you say this, I'm just waiting to hear, like, do you got to keep being reminded? Because at some point, I tell you everything that I tell you on Saturday, I'll be preaching to you. You should be unbothered. Another dude got in trouble. You think I'm moved by fake outrage? Because I've done it. This is 3 years ago. What has changed? Nothing. People will be upset for 5 to 10 minutes and then get right back onto cheering for the Cleveland Browns. So for the people that don't understand the emotional side and emotional intelligence is, at certain points, you got to keep it pushing. My job ain't to be a rebuttaling everything somebody disagree with. You know why I got my own platform? It ain't to hide what I think about certain things. It's to tell freely how I want to talk when I want to talk about it. And I got 2 hours, 3 hours, the much time as I can to set it up, to put it in the right context, and to tell you exactly how I'm moving. I will not be rushed in 5-minute increments. And my job is not to rebuttal everything somebody say on a panel of more than 3 to 4 people. That's not how the game works, bro. It's a time and a place for all types of things. But as you can see, I'm with the ish right here. I still see Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Can we keep it pushing? Thank you. That's what they want. Let me tell you something too. Same way I talked about YSL and I talked about all these other folks. You think in our industry, the highest level is the NFL. The most powerful league in the world is the NFL. The most powerful group of individuals in this world work for the NFL. What do you think? What do you think the NFL thinks when I put stuff up like this? Huh? Oh, this 3 years ago. Maybe you just came around just now. Maybe you just pulled up yesterday. But I've been kind of standing on business. You know what type of pushback you get when you talk about examining bias, hypocrisy, racism? You know what type of 3 years ago? This George Floyd time. This we wasn't just doing this. We didn't wake up starting to do this. You know what kind of pushback you get when you call the most powerful men in the game made men? It's funny because when I put this stuff up, you know, it's wild. I had a conversation with my mom and my wife. They was like, "Look, Garrett, we know you speaking the truth. Dang, you gotta go like that? Like, chill, bro, chill, or just a little bit, chill. You got Johnny Cochran with the glove on the thumbnail. Chill, bro." When you got the Johnny Cochran glove on the thumbnail, what you talking about, bro? I didn't had the grand jury conversation. It just ain't that. Let's keep it going. Let me show you what these dudes say. This one of the Cleveland Brown legends. This Leroy Howard. This is what Leroy told me.
G. Bush.
What's up?
I have never watched a podcast before, but I watch your podcast on Deshaun Watson. Nice
Wow.
one.
Look at that.
I've never watched a podcast before.
My
And
man,
said,
I
you know what?
appreciate you.
Let me see what G. Bush talking about.
Yeah.
Let me see what these streets are saying.
Well, how was it?
This is
Rated
awesome.
on a 1 to 5 star. Where was it?
I tell you what, as far as being informative and factual, I give it a 5.
There you go.
5.
Everybody has
We can't do any
opinions.
better than that.
Yeah.
Can't do any better than that.
Everybody has opinions. Everybody has opinions. But if you throw facts in their face, they never want to back up on their opinion. What he did was got the facts first and
Yeah.
then gave his opinion.
So we've been, at some point in time, you can say you disagree, but what the legacy and the testament is, it can never be tarnished. At some point, you got to say, well, G. Bush didn't say nothing right there, but it's G. Bush. He done fought the battles for 200 years. G. Bush, he still fight the battles. He's still doing it. Because what I did in this instance is, people just got here. But I've been speaking truth to power. I've been going to get court dockets. I've been going to get information and coming back and bringing it back and be like, but did you see this? But what about this? Hold on, did you see that? right? When nobody else is doing it. And nobody else is doing it that looks like me. I'm just saying. By the way, this is on what platform?
Yeah, no, that's smart.
So,
That's why you make a
and
great
Leroy,
joke.
Thanks for watching my podcast.
And you
I'm
know
about
what-
to say I got a podcast too. Thanks for watching Tyvus's
And
podcast.
Leroy, I'll say this. We gotta, shout out to Michigan, by the way. Y'all ain't
Whoa!
I like you.
Whoa!
See? Listen, that's when everybody got a podcast. But ain't nobody talking about basketball in mind or tackling people. I come with the game plan. At some point, the receipts is out here. All you got to do is just watch them. All you just got to do is watch them. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no Shador Sanders stuff up here. None. Because you know what I did with it. You know. They got a tracker because I told them, no, you lying. That did not go down the way that was. There's a tracker because I said, no, under no circumstances. And people be getting crazy. Even when Shawn King came on, and people say, oh, I got a problem with Shawn King the way you did. First and foremost, let me explain something. When you on a podcast and when you are hosting a show and you bring somebody onto your platform, your job is to bring them on and ask them their opinion. Your job is not to bring somebody on, ask them a question, and then cut them off. The job is to get them on and ask the question. At the end of the day, you got 3 to 5 minutes to ask questions, to get content, and it's produced by producers. So the G. Bush didn't say nothing to him that time, or G. Bush didn't go cut him off that time, or G. Bush didn't jump in the pot. He didn't go looking on the internet to find. That ain't what it's about. That's not the gig. And even when he said things I didn't agree with, I said under no circumstances are we stopping celebrations. That's who he is. It is what it is. At some point in time, you gotta make the people who say what they say stand on what they say. He said it, not me. And you know why? Because I got a platform and a place where you can come unfiltered and get G. Bush's opinion on what you want to get to. I'm the only dude in the industry that say people's names. Think about that. Think about that. I'm the only one who say names. If it's Grossy, if it's Mary Kay, if it's people on my own shows. You know how many meetings I've been in? You know how many text messages I get? You know, and each one of them, I have the conversation and say, our difference of opinion has nothing to do with what I feel about you as an individual. As I always said, I got relationships with all of them. Jason Lloyd, Adam Nabu, Jay Crawford. I know everybody. Remember, I started off as an intern, answering phones. They was all getting checks before I got here. And you know what? I still made my name by talking the truth. So the thought process that I'm somehow soft on people, and I just, sometimes you got to pop out with a thumbnail, G. Bush. You got to pop out and show. I ain't going to say the rest of it because you know what it is. Let's keep getting it. Let's see this. G. Bush been on a downward trend ever since Shawn King interview. He low-key losing some of his audience because he don't speak up and tell the truth until he's on his own podcast. Well, listen, my good sir. Can we get some more receipts? You got some more receipts, G. Bush, of where you don't be talking to nobody on other platforms, right? Like, because I don't be doing that. But you got some more receipts, G. Bush? And I promise we're gonna take some. Listen, your comments. We're gonna take comments too. We're gonna have a conversation. Let's get to it. This is my thought process. See, maybe y'all just pulled him around. Deshaun Watson hurt his Achilles. He tore his Achilles heel. He got booed. I said, bro, y'all out of pocket. How you have somebody that play for you on your team and you boo him? He had surgery. His wife now made him dinner at their apartment, and fans went crazy. I'm tired of seeing him. He's on a yacht. He's on a boat. He's doing this. He's doing that. I'm like, bro, that was on his wife's Instagram, and she made him dinner. What grown man follows another grown man to tell him his wife came, this is out of pocket? But maybe I just don't be saying it like that. Maybe I'm confused. G. Bush be letting them slide.
And let me get this right. Every time I get on a panel, every time I go somewhere, people tell me, you know what, G. Bush, you can't have him in the building. We don't want no Deshaun in the building. We can't think of it. We can't even see his face. Just get rid of him. Get him out of here.
What they say?
We don't need him in the building. We need guys that's concentrating. Listen, no, under no circumstances can you bring him back. Okay, well, he had surgery. He's on a boat somewhere eating pasta. And I get, G. Bush, he's supposed to be dialed in with his teammates. Why is he on the sideline? He's over here while everybody's fighting to get scrap and get wins in the facility. He's sitting here having a nerve to have a meal with his wife.
Yeah.
The nerve of this guy. Y'all guys, listen. When I grew up, men was not jealous of other men.
I don't quite understand. We can keep let's keep it going. Can we keep it going?
If you got all these African Americans that are playing on that field, how is it that 90% of the people that write about them, how is it that 90% of the people that don't identify, don't know where they come from, don't understand their plight, how can they then write the narrative?
You name. I don't want no, listen, I don't want no thumbs up. Cats don't even gotta like this. But you're gonna respect it. You ain't got to like this blog. I don't need no super chats. I don't need none of that. This blog is about understanding and a level of respect what it is. Stephen A. Smith ain't said that. And he making millions, trillions of dollars. Mike Wilbon ain't saying that. No disrespect. I like both of them. But who get on a television show on UCSS and straight up say, how you gonna have all the players be black? But 90% of the people that write the storyline is not even of the culture, look like them from the same plight. Who said it? Who said it? No disrespect to my guy right here. You ain't never said nothing that spicy at a workplace where your career hinges on what you say. See, you can have opinions on Twitter and hang out behind nice little fancy little words or whatever the case may be. No disrespect to each one of these three brothers. I appreciate them. You got your plot. You can say how you feel. But at the end of the day, how you feel don't got nothing to do with the reality. The reality is every single week when I go out here, whether it's the barbershop, UCSS, where I'm in prison sentence, whether I'm in the prison system talking to people, whether I'm talking to schools, because I'm there all the time. And I tell them, I say stuff like this, and my job is on the line. My career is on the line. My reputation is there. So when you question reality and realness and how it's moving, understand, do you have the full resume? I'm just giving the receipts. I'm not mad at them. They may have not known. They may have not known what I do or how I get down. I'm not above reproach, but at the end of the day, certain things we're not going to do. You can't play with what I built. You can't play with the barbershop and how I'm moving, because ain't nobody, you show me one person that moved like that. You show me. Listen, I'll shake their hand. But I came from answering the phones, building stages, no money, no nothing. And when they did give me no opportunity, you know what I said? I'll help build it. So when you say you giving the real on this platform, hell yeah, I'm gonna give the real on this platform, because this is my blood, sweat, and tears on this platform. This is me. I own it. It's me. It's my expression. It's my life. It's my testimony. It's my passion. It's where I could talk directly to the people. And I've always preached for entrepreneurs, always keep you something in the tuck. You don't never know when listen, I could go to work tomorrow and some of the stuff I say, I could be gone. Bye. Nah, we don't like that. It's a lot of corporate being, it's a lot of energy and stuff around. So you always have to keep a place where you could talk and talk to the people that identify and understand what you're talking about. Under no circumstances will it be diminished as if it's a throwaway where it's my burner account. No, this is my life. When I talk about sports, music, and culture, I truly believe that. So when it comes to the contributions of what I brought to the table, sometimes you can be humble, but sometimes you got to show the receipts. And I will let myself finish in this conversation. Here we go.
I heard some people say Terrell Owens ain't a first ballot Hall of Famer. Why? Because you didn't like him? How dare you use your pen? How dare you use your influence to judge what happened on the field because you don't identify with somebody? See, that's the problem. If you don't have representation, you don't have representations with the league, and when it comes to health, you don't have representation. Matter of fact, they don't even want you to write about it. We're going to do this, and you're not even going to write about it because we're going to strike this from the record. We'll put who we want in place, and we'll rock and roll with that.
And
then finally, let's talk about it. Finally, I didn't even know this was coming about. And to give you a little behind the scenes, this show just started. And this is during the beginning days of UCSS. And a little known fact was there wasn't a mandate. I was one of the first 3 people they put on the show. Me, Bull, and Jay. I was an unknown. I already had a regular job. It was my first full-time job in terms of doing it, but I had already a radio show in the weekend named The Barbershop, by the way. So, and on The Barbershop, on the airwaves, my first show was the NCAA. I'm not going to compare it to slavery, but it sure as heck is sharecropping. My second show was, y'all talk about kneeling. We'll kneel until y'all get rid of the Confederate flag at the SEC football games. My third show was talking about the way George Floyd changed my mind forever about this country and why I refuse to run around and condemn football players for the most trivialist things. But yet and still, we let things like that go down and people will excuse it or toss it away. I'm the first person who said, you talked about Deshaun Watson, the president of the United States, got 26 of the same allegations. You voted for him twice. I said that. Ain't nobody have to go to the program director's place and come on back and figure it out. No, that was me. And this is one of the situations where I said this when I didn't even know if the show was going to be around. It was impromptu. Damar Hamlin had just died on the football field. And this is what I said. standing on business.
Keep it real. Why we don't talk about the stuff that matter? This young man, you want to know how what this you need to know about him? He's 24 years old, right? He got a contract for $160,000. That's his bonus, and he earns $825,000 this year. You say, G. Bush, why are you talking about this man's money? Because guess what? He's been in the league 2 years. That means he's not vested. That means if he never plays another down in his life, he don't get another check for the NFL. Let's be clear about this. You got to play 3 to 4 years before you even sniff a pension. So all this heartwarming and prayers and condolences don't do nothing for that boy's mom.
That went on to get, I don't know, 500 million views or something stupid. From that conversation, I went on a tour. I was on CNN, Sports Illustrated. I spoke to the Reverend Jesse Jackson. I was reached out to by the Honorable Farrakhan. I was on thousands and thousands and thousands of podcasts, so many that I got so tired of it. I had interviews out the wazoo, right? And I thought that it was going to be one of the best times of I said, wow, I never knew, like, I was talking about this. After that, I never talked to DeMar Hamlin, right? But I was on every podcast. I was on News Nation regularly. Whatever, any outlet you can think of, I was on. 10, 15 interviews a day, back to back, because of that. Because it went viral. And you know what I learned? Sometimes viral don't help. Because I found myself in a situation where after that, I got a call from NFL Players Association. I got calls from multiple insurance companies about CTE claims and cases and disability. And now I had become the poster child in the face as the person that was trying to speak and destroy the system that the NFL had built. And I'm just a regular dude on a show called The Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. But you don't know the level of pressure that the NFL can put on you. You don't know that. I'm getting calls from reps saying, you sure you don't want to take that back? Because not only did it make the NFL look bad, it made the NFL Players Association look bad. There was calls put out. There was conversations and emails back and forth. And you know what? You know what I learned? That the game was more crooked than I ever thought it was going to be. That really, these folks really don't care nothing about that. And then it dawned on me as I sat there. And you think for a while at your house, after you going back and forth with people and litigation and lawyers and representation. And the crazy thing about it is if my information wasn't correct, they was talking about repercussions of lawsuits. If I wasn't dialed in, they was trying to get me, hold on, who is this dude? Vet him. What are you talking about? Oh, he didn't win that Rich Eisen? He didn't win that Dan Patrick? Who is this dude? And you sit there and you say, I didn't plan on getting in this game to be controversial. I just wanted to talk about football. And then you think to yourself, is that smart? The NFL is the most powerful organization in the game. If this don't work out, where are you getting a job at? You think the NFL is going to hire you? You talked about their journalistic practices. You called them a syndicate. You talked about how Robert Kraft got away with being in a sex trafficking ring. You think that where your career going? You wasn't doing nothing prior to this and you was squeaky clean. Where do you think you done got going? And you on these television shows every single day and you're the face of the NFL not paying players, the NFL trying to squash CTE, the NFL not hiring black journalists, the NFL unjustly giving penalties and suspensions out, and you're the face of it. And you sit there and you say to yourself, my God, did I do something that was wrong? Or and you know what? I looked around and God told me, he said, they're not going to like you. They didn't like me. As long as you give praise and honor to my name and you tell people what I done for you, I will make sure I have a provision for you at all times. That's powerful. Because I had a conversation with him about it. I said, listen, I don't know if I can keep doing this. I don't know if I can keep coming back on here and it's just me. I don't know if I could just keep coming back on here and saying it, because I'm tired. I get tired sometimes because you ain't good enough for them, but you ain't real enough for your own people. You stand in the middle. He said, don't worry about it. As long as you do what I tell you to do, they won't touch you. I will make a provision and a way for you out of nothing. You keep talking the way you talk. And you know what I said? I'll do it. We're going to keep talking. So for those who don't know, and for those that don't understand, or for those who are just now being brought up to speed, I didn't want to waste my time talking about this half of tomorrow, because I really got a great barbershop show planned for everybody. And those who rock with people, and those who understand what this game is, and those who really want the truth, we hope you'll tune in. But for the people that think that you are their personal attack dog, their personal individual, who they think that they can go and make themselves feel better, go sick them over there and go sick them over there and go run over there and go jump over there and climb these ropes. We not that. I'm not that. I am guided. I am talked to. I am moved by him. I can entertain you. I'll give you a good show. But I only say, and I only go as far as the word he gives me. I don't study this. I don't come on here. I don't got no notes. I do 3-4 hours, no notes. You know why? He gives it to me. That's my gift. But in terms of saying how I'm moving and what you're saying, you can think of what you want. But I'm the only person that stand on business so much that I can only count on him, because it ain't coming from nobody else. So in terms of whether you think that I'm supposed to be talking on other platforms, we've given you a case, and I've shown you I've had some of the most explosive moments in this industry on that platform for the world to see. And my career can go up or down based on what I said in the past. It is what it is. Because you know why? Still got the barbershop. People talk about, oh, you're going to have 100,000 followers. Listen, I always tell people, I'm thankful for everybody who pull up over here and talk they talk. But you give me 20,000 real ones over 100,000 fake ones every day. Give me the real ones. Give me the unbothered ones. Give me the ones that is looking to move the conversation forward. Because as I said before, and we get to this quote, the ink of a scholar is worth more than the blood of a martyr. You got to learn how to fight in this industry, in this game. You got to learn to fight. how to fight strategically. When I come on here and I talk about certain things, you're not listening. You're not listening to what I'm saying. When I talk about Shedeur Sanders and I say Shedeur Sanders understands it, he gets it, his father gets it, you got to go through the fire. You also got to learn how to battle. You got to learn the rules of operation. You got to understand how you go about moving strategically and doing certain things. You don't get nowhere by crashing out on every person who says something you don't agree with. That's not discourse. I would rather show you. I would rather show you through storytelling, show you through economics, show you through biblical scriptures, show you through human nature, show you through philosophy, psychology, history, science, math, communication, people skills. I would rather show you than sit back and argue. No. That's not how it gets it done. That's not how it operates. I'm on 4 different platforms. And for me, as a thinking, breathing human being, everybody has a different side. My goal is to give you, every time you see me, I want you to say, dang, I didn't know G. Bush analytical game was like that. I seen him on the Bleacher Report. He's analytical. He can break it down just like a reporter. I love his stuff over there. I want you to come over on UCSS, and I want you to be entertained. I want you to be entertained. The goal of UCSS is to have 4 distinctive personality groups, and each person and one of them people is 25% is tuning in to see what Jay gonna say, 25 gonna tune in to see what Bull say, 25 gonna what G. Bush talking about. That's it. But when it comes to that barbershop, it's pure, unadulterated. This is 100% G. Bush unfiltered. You got it. Respect it. Embrace it. It's like chocolate cake. You don't want chocolate cake every day. You got to have a balanced meal. Where's your vegetables? Where's your carbs? Where's your proteins? You can't have dessert every single day. That's why the barbershop, once a week, you can come over and get everything you wanted to get. All the answers you wanted during the week you come over here and get them. I hope I explained it good enough for y'all. But sometimes you just got to pop out and show. Let's get to these comments. Let's get to them. Let's get to them. I'm going to get to the comments. Gee, is Gabriel so hurt possibly not play? Why do Browns have him practicing all week? Same with Pickett. Those are true wasted reps beyond reps that's going to Huntley. Hey, I've already said it, Squizzer. We wasn't even talking ball, but I'm going to give you what you paid for. I said the same thing today. What are we doing here? Why are we going to a place where if guys are not going to be practicing and guys are not able to play, well, don't be giving them no what's-the-names. Don't be giving them no reps. The reps, we'll be talking about that a little bit more tomorrow. Because I'm going to preface this, tune back in. Man, Dylan Gabriel better play tomorrow. He better play tomorrow. Because here's what I'm not going to play. Pickett and Gabriel is just magically. Now, if they hurt, they hurt. But I don't want to hear if they hurt, and they ain't played in no games. Well, listen, to me, Shedeur has been better than both of them. So, what we talking about? You might as well go ahead and name him the backup. Stop it already. P. Rothstein. Gee, if people are saying that, then they haven't been listening to you. I have never heard you not keep it, and at most times you're too real for most people. Yeah, look, I'm too real to work at the NFL Network. You do know this is where everybody aspires to be. I want to work at ESPN. I want to work at Fox. I want to work at the NFL Network. I want to work for the NFL. Yeah. I didn't already, I came out first week and hit him with that. The only person in my lifetime who keep it as real as you is the big sports kahuna, Kennedy Lewis. That's my OG. As a shout out to him, I always give him credit. Hey, look, he know it. Hey, do not let these haters trick you out your spot. Under no circumstances. Under no circumstances. And this is why I come on here and give it to everybody, because this is about culture in general. This is about culture in general. You know how many people is in other positions, in other places, and in jail right now because somebody said something about them being soft, or they need to be doing this, or you in jail for years. They out here living their best life. For what? Who gonna talk like that then? Don't let nobody trick you out your spot. Let them say what they're gonna say. But sometimes, see, I ain't that big. I still got energy. And by the way, I don't have no ill will. I'm not mad at them brothers for saying that, or sisters, whoever they are. That's their opinion. But also, it's public. I got to show them. Maybe they didn't understand what I've been doing, how I'm moving. Thelmo Fudd, we appreciate you. They just showing support at this point, right? Harold JY3MB, thank you so much for the super chat. You just showing support. I appreciate you. Jab 9237, G Bush, ignore the foolery. You know how to move in and out of conversations and situations. You can't sit on the panel and be dogmatic. Start disruption. Thank you for understanding. That's not. See, that's the quickest way. See, people want, you gotta understand. You gotta be able to move and weave and bob and dodge and step up and give them something. And my mom told me something. She told me something after the first year that I was on UCSS. My mom, shout out to, this is why you got to have good counsel. My mom seen me and she said, man, you look tired. I said, it is, Mom. I'm tired, man. I just feel like every single day I'm going up there and I'm fighting for a bunch of people. Like I'm up there just fighting. And she said, what you fighting for? That's not your battle. And I had to think, like, what do you mean? She said, this stuff been going on since the beginning of time. Garrett, it's entertainment. You know how to move. You know when enough is enough. You know when to cut people off and say, now you're out of pocket. You also know how to laugh things off. You also have to bring up questions. You also know how to debate. Don't go up there as if you're taking on the world on your shoulders. And I say the same thing about Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders cannot be our burden for everything. He can't be the person that is for the people that are looked over. Or he can't be the reason that he can't be the burden for I got looked over. Why people hating on me at work? Why I'm overlooked? He's a representation of the struggle. He isn't the struggle. You got to give him grace and opportunity to come along at God's own time. I am here today because I went through what God wanted me to go through back then. And so now when people say things, I know who I am. I know fully who I am. I understand what I'm about. So I'm not easily moved. I'm not easily moved, but you got to give people time to get to that place. Without getting to that place, I wouldn't be here today. Raising Susie. Thank you so much. They don't understand that you can't swing at every pitch. We have a tendency to tear down our leaders. Hey, listen, you got to have an eye. They always used to say, I always used to wonder about this. Used to have this thing where they said, we have a situation where you can't die on every hill. And I never understood where that came from. And there's and this might not even be true, but there's this old saying that people in the Vietnam War or in the Korean War used to say that, there would be generals that would be so hell-bent on just winning at every cost that they would run and use resources, ammunition, manpower, lives, sacrifice to take one hill, knowing that they could not keep that hill. And you spend days and days marching up mud and hills and war and close hand-to-hand combat, knowing good and well that people gonna die, good men gonna die for no reason. And they keep walking up the hill, keep going up the hill, keep going, and they finally take the hill, only to see that hill retaken a matter of hours or minutes later. I never understood with that until I was in, do you really want to die on this hill? I didn't get it until it was really in history class. And they talked about what that means. And it's understandable. When you are on a panel of people and you have a topic, they give you the topic that you're going to talk about the day before. Producers get you the topic. They show you how much time you have, right? So if you got a topic that's going to take 10 minutes, it's a topic you're passionate about. Each person is supposed to get maybe 3 minutes to talk about it. But guess what? Never works that way because people get into a rant, get into whatever they're going to get into, and they talk more than they're supposed to talk. So now they're talking. I have a choice. Either I can use all of my time in which I prepared for to talk about my point, or I had to go back and waste half my time rebuttaling what he said. Now, when I go back and rebuttal what he said, he gets an opportunity to address what I'm saying, right? So now that takes up my other half of the time. While there's another dude right to the right of me sitting here like, you on my time now. Look, it's like watching a presidential debate. They be unhinged, don't they? He'd be like, man, no, you got to let me answer that. Well, okay, we'll give you 10 minutes we'll give you 3 minutes to go on that. He goes 3 minutes. No, you got to give me time. He said something that was inaccurate. Okay, Senator, we'll give you 2 minutes. Before you know it, we all into the next question. And it's a timed event. We ain't got no time for that. I'm just giving you the ins and outs and how it works. We appreciate you. F-Tank 58, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, bro. You'll never be able to please everyone. Some of these fans are delusional. You're doing a great job. I appreciate it. This wasn't a thing for me to come out and just say, oh, I'm feeling. No, I do this about once or twice a year because I like to educate people on how the game works. This is how the game works, man. It is what it is. So we just giving y'all what the math is. My boy G. Bush, the realest to ever do it. He is SOB standing on business. I appreciate you. See this? Look, but guess what? I use everything that I got for those that tune in that might be having some things. Because guess what? This ain't new to me. This is human nature. It's somebody at work going through the same thing. It's somebody in a relationship going through the same thing. It's somebody with their kids going through the same thing. I'm just showing you a good way to go about it and handle it. And sometimes people need educated. Hey, man, it ain't time and place for everything. G. Bush, you cook every day, but don't bite your tongue, bro. Give it to him raw. LFG, dog pound. Hey, sometimes you got to learn to laugh, joke, cry, yell, scream. I'll give you a basketball analogy. A point guard ain't necessarily got to go at the same speed all the time. Sometimes, like I told y'all last week, sometimes you can win a battle without even fighting. Sometimes I just let you talk. Sometimes I just let you do the work. Alexander Gallant 644, G. Bush, say it loud, because what you talk about is bigger than just football and sports. Appreciate you. We count on you for the facts. They can move around. We appreciate that. Preach, G. Tom Barnes, we appreciate you. JD Floyd live. They know that Dylan Gabriel isn't ready for this week's game. It would hurt his trade value to secure Sanders as a backup if he didn't look up to par. I want to see him, because here's the thing that I don't want it out. Listen, y'all getting into my material for tomorrow. This is tomorrow's material. I hope they don't think that they're gonna play this game where don't nobody else got to play, and they still gonna say, well, we like these two other because we just like them. Black 5 Entertainment says, if you question G. Bush, show us your work first. That's all I ask. I gave him multiple receipts. I mean, these is viral moments about inflammatory things on multiple platforms. I mean, there's things that I do that nobody would even think about doing. Nobody would ever say somebody else's name from another platform. They just wouldn't. They'd be like, whoa, that's like not proper etiquette. You can't mention another person's, I don't know. Tell them little ends to sit down on the porch and let the big dogs eat. What's the latest on the QB for tomorrow? Feel like Kevin going to play Huntley all 4 quarters. Hey, boom and surge. Let me tell you something. I don't like it, because, like I said today on UCSS, if these folks is trying to plan on them not playing, I think they on a joint where they're not going to even play Kenny Pickett. This is what I'm hearing. Pickett ain't even on deck to play. Man, we got to talk about this tomorrow. I want Dylan Gabriel to play, because we got to talk about it. By the way, if Dylan Gabriel does play, it will be a post-game show. We will be doing a critique right over here on the barbershop. We're going to get to it. If they don't want to compare him, we're going to compare. I'm watching just like I was watching Shador. Let's not put that onus on him. My mom raised me to make sure if they let you in the room, you better learn how to stay in the room. I am used to being the salt and the pepper. You better move in a way you speak without threat. Somebody knows. If you know, you know. Somebody knows. The position in the platform is more important. I got to live to fight 6 days, because guess what? Somebody got to get this work. Somebody got to get it. Lady V. Scott, we appreciate your super chat. We appreciate you. Come on out and say it. Black Tax, we have to learn how to tap dance and keep our dignity at the same time. G. Bush is the only one keeping it real and unbiased on the show. Mr. Dion 8439. G. Bush, said Shador, count down that supercomputer. Hey, I want to see it. They blackballed Kaepernick, everybody remember. They got him up out of here. They just, but it is what it is, man. As always, tomorrow's show, we promoting the barbershop. We got a big show planned for tomorrow. We got to figure this out. Is there something behind these? If Dylan Gabriel don't play and Pickett don't play, I didn't want to break this out now. I'm not going to break it out now. You tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I didn't want to break it out. Let me tell you something. Shador's the only one putting work in. He don't only, remember what I told you about, sometimes you got to sit back. Don't it seem like the onus is all on Shador to prove? He got to prove. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, 9 o'clock. But as for everybody else, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Everyone who bought a 12 jersey tuned in last Friday. Guess what? If he don't play and Gabriel don't play, it might be 5 people watching the show. 5 people watching the game too. But tomorrow, you got to get this. We're going to serve it as a pregame. It's going to be a pregame, but we're going to talk about this quarterback situation because it's still cloudy, and I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't like what we're setting up. I don't like this. And as always, you never know what G-Bunch might pop up. We might even pop up and just show resumes and receipts like we did today. But if you want the fresh cut on sports, the barbershop is always the place to be. We appreciate you. Thank you. Subscribe and like. We'll catch you tomorrow, 9 a.m. right here on the barbershop.